Evening, folks. Hey. How you doing, guys? Thank you very much for bearing with us with the awkwardness of this gig and stuff like that. It's actually great. You know what? This gig is getting me one step closer to my dream. Because my dream as a stand-up is to be on telly, and tonight I get to perform stand-up in front of a telly. I'm halfway there. Some of you might have not heard, but my name is Dimitri and I am Eastern European. I have to get that out of the way straight away, so I have to come clean. But I'm actually I'm a mixed race Eastern European because my father is Russian and my mother is Ukrainian, and what that makes me is my own worst enemy. And it's basically the reason why, with a name like Dimitri, I've spent the last 2 years pretending to be Greek. And it's just easier than having that same conversation over and over again. Because, whenever people meet me, right, they always ask me what I think about the conflict. And I tell them straight, I'm like, guys, I don't watch the news. I have no idea what's going on in Syria. Good, I like that. A couple of you laughing, the rest of you looking at me like, you dickhead. I'm used to it, right? But I have to do this little deflector, right? Because no one's ever happy to hear what I have to say about the Russia-Ukraine thing. Because I personally don't give a damn. Guys, it doesn't matter to me who wins. I get to claim allegiance either way. And much more importantly, I have a British passport, so fuck them. I mean, some people get upset when I say that, right? They come up to me after gigs and they're like, dude, you can't be this callous towards your fellow countrymen just because you're lucky enough to have a British passport. And I'm like, well, hold up. Luck has nothing to do with it. I worked hard. I saved up. I got myself a passport of eBay fair and square. And like any foreigner that gets their passport, right? I started, showing off like a dickhead. Okay, the first thing I did is I looked at my girlfriend's passport, who's Australian, and she's got a kangaroo and an emu in her passport. Are you Australian? Yeah. What's wrong with you? That shit's not serious, right? Like, I said to my girlfriend, I was like, look, you need a strong animal like a lion to represent your country. And my girlfriend's quite smart, right? So she was like, yeah? What else, dumbass? So I look at my British passport, I'm like, fuck. Why is there a unicorn on the British passport? You're Scottish, right?
No, probably.
Probably.
Close enough.
Close enough. Newcastle. I don't know. No, but that's the thing, because I needed to know that. I didn't know it was Scotland, right? Because I needed to do my research, because I was thinking, like, which king allowed his 11-year-old daughter to choose these animals? It turns out it's Scotland. Dude, that's fucked up on so many levels, right? Because I don't know if you know, right, but historically, countries chose their national animals, to, represent them on the battlefield to scare the hell out of the other army. Which is fucked up, because Scotland, which is famed for the Highland Charge, one of the most devastating military maneuvers of all time, chose a pony that farts rainbows. That is horny, apparently. But dude, I do the jokes, you laugh. There's only one country on earth that guys spot one of their national animal, and that's France, because they have a big blue chicken. Good, fuck 'em, this is London. Like I said, I do have a girlfriend, right? My girlfriend's amazing. We've been together for a little while now. At the moment, we're 2.5 years into a 3-year relationship. It's going really well, right? It's going great. But I started picking up on little hints that it's coming to an end. Like small little things, like she started looking after herself a bit more. Then she started going to the gym. She bought herself a one-way ticket back to Australia. I can read between the lines though, right? But my girlfriend, she's really cool. She's absolutely amazing, right? After 2.5 years, I only really have one complaint about her. The thing that really gets to me, right? The thing that really annoys me. Well, apart from the violence, the thing that really gets to me is that because she's Australian, and see if you can relate to this, right? But while she's here, she wants to see as much of Europe as possible. So that whenever we can afford it, we go away on a mini-city break, right? Which to me personally is just a massive waste of money. Like, all I'm doing is I'm paying to have sex in the hotel room hundreds of miles away. And it's still with my girlfriend. She was leaving, right? she got really upset, sat me down for the serious chat. She's like, Dimitri, you have to stop dating these exotic girls. Because like, I had a Chinese girlfriend, had a Colombian one, now an Australian one. She said, look, find yourself a nice local girl and settle down. And I wanted to reassure her because she's my mom. I'm like, look, don't worry about it, right? It's not the exotic girls I like. It's the girls whose visas are about to expire. Yeah, she was not a fan. Straight away, she was telling me about the commitment issues. I'm like, I don't have commitment issues. I just like to know how long I'm committing for. And it's okay for a second. I've said those jokes so many times now about my girlfriend that she's actually left me. First time I ever got sympathy, I'll be honest with you there. Most people just go like, you did it, you deserve it. What? Dude.
It's Aaron
now, man. You had a thought.
Call him Aaron, his name's Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron, yeah.
Nah, so dude, we're gonna leave him alone. He looks not happy. He's Scottish though, so that's the default setting. But it's fine, like, you know, I do realise I don't come off as the nicest guy when I'm on stage. Like, and a friend of mine said to me, like, oh, talk about your family, you know, to make yourself seem nice. I didn't have anything to talk about, but luckily for me, a few weeks ago, my nan died. This is a comedy club. And it's fine, like, it didn't happen, right? But the way we see it is she's in a better place now, right? You know, she went peacefully in the hospital. And, yeah, when I say that, like, don't get me wrong, like, she was a horrible human being and she went straight to hell. Still better than Manchester. Hey, oh my God. We're not favourites here. It's fine. But then, you know what? I've been thinking a lot about religion because my nan died, right? Because it's just a thing that happens, right? And I got brought up in a Christian family, but I don't think I want to subscribe to Christianity anymore. Because, like, I don't want to follow a religion that worships a God whose penis is so small that he had sex with a woman and she's still technically a virgin. And I said this to a Muslim friend of mine in passing, right? And she was like, well, consider Islam, that's a good religion. And I thought about it and I was like, no. Relax. Guys, I'll be honest with you. We're in a pub in the West End. Everyone is drinking. We're safe. Like, in Islam, right, there's a fundamental flaw. Because on one hand, you're strictly not allowed to gamble. But on the other hand, you are not allowed to see your wife's face until you're married. I wasn't laughed of relief that, like, fuck, that's not racist. Like, you know, last year was quite a good year for me as well because, like, before I did stand up full time, right, I had a proper job and stuff like that. But at the start of the year, last year, my job was working as an estate agent in Islington. Yeah, thank you. Estate agent is just a long way of saying cunt. It's because of that I wanted a job that like contributes to society, that gives something back. So I got myself a job in the GP surgery. I thought it would be great, you know, I help people see their doctor and stuff like that. Turns out my actual job was to keep people away from their doctor. This guy calls up, he's like, man, I've been coughing for a week. Can I see the doctor, please? I'm like, no, man. That's not serious enough for the doctor. Go back when you've been ill longer. Same guy calls up 3 weeks later. He's like, mate, I'm coughing up blood. I think I've got tuberculosis. Can I see the GP now? I'm like, no, man. That is too serious for the doctor. Fuck off to the hospital. I think we're going to see their GP later. No, but it's not like, you know, like, for this job I moved to Dagenham. Like, there's a twofold reason for moving to Dagenham, right? The first was like for this, right? And by the way, for those of you that are from abroad and aren't familiar with Dagenham, Dagenham is thank you. Thank you so much. You're good. You know, have you been or? You don't come back, yeah, it's fair enough. Like, Dagenham, for those of you that don't know as well, right, Dagenham is the kind of area where, like, we have a local nightclub, but it's just an off license that stays open late. And this happened to me a few weeks ago. I'm coming home late at night, and in the middle of the high street, there's a guy strangling his girlfriend. Exactly, like I didn't want to get involved, right? Because he looked like the kind of guy, that would strangle his girlfriend in the middle of the street. I thought to myself, look, I have to do something. So as I'm walking by, I kind of make eye contact with the girl to say, like, look, do you need help? Or is this just foreplay? And she looks at me dead in the eyes, and she goes, "Oi, you, what the fuck are you looking at?" That's the first reason, right? The second reason, right? Like, maybe to Dagenham, like, I told you folks, right? I'm Eastern European, I've lived in England for 17 years, right? And there's a thing that still to this day makes me feel a little bit left out, right? And this thing is racism, right? And the fact that even though I've been here for 17 years, still to this day, I haven't experienced any. Why would I bring it up? That's what I'm saying, right? Like, and the thing is, moving to Dagenham didn't help either, right? Nothing. But the closest so far I've come to racism in the 17 years I've been here is when I was working in a betting shop in Tottenham. And this guy lost 50p on a horse bet, shouted across the entire shop, "Ah, fuck off back to your country, you Greek bastard." Which is quite harsh, but I couldn't take him seriously. Like, you know, it just didn't work for me because, like, he said it was such a strong Somalian accent. And I realized now, looking back on it, I'm the bigger racist just because he wasn't English enough to insult me. Like, folks, you've been absolutely lovely, right? And I'm gonna leave you on this one last bit. It's less of a joke and more just a thing, because in my life, I love extreme sports. So I love like bungee jumping, skydiving, and stuff like that, right? But it sometimes scares me, the stories you read in the papers. Like last year, there were 2 girls that died in Spain bungee jumping. Right? It's terrible, right? But I think it's important that we learn things from these events, right? And the important lesson to take away here is that women women shouldn't lie about their weight. Thank you very much.